Okay, this is what is the Dunning Kreuger effect. So the Dunning Kreuger effect is the tendency of beginners in a lot of different things to overestimate their knowledge. Okay, so a typical thing would be, let's say college students think they have good study skills. No, they probably got reasonably good IQs to get into college, but they usually don't have very good study skills. Okay, doctors that think they know nutrition. And the danger of it is somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience will sometimes be overconfident when they shouldn't be. So a typical thing would be a doctor hears other doctors talking about the Mediterranean diet. So when somebody asks them what's the best nutrition, they'll say Mediterranean diet without realizing what an incredibly ignorant thing that is to say. And other examples, there's tons of examples of this. Most people think they're an above average driver. So the way the Dunning-Kruger curve works is here's confidence level, and here is actual true objective competence. So what happens in somebody's a beginner in something that they think is easier than it really is, they'll be very confident. Okay. I had the experience when I was a third year medical student. I had crushed my boards exam taken at the end of the second year, and there was a party, and there was a bunch of doctors at my house. My dad was a doctor, and one of my uncles was chief of surgery at Mercy Hospital, for example. And he was trying to be nice to me, but he asked me a question. And I was very confident. I was like, I'm going to be a great doctor. I know this stuff backwards and forwards. And he asked me a question about the anatomy of the abdomen. He said, what side of the abdomen is the inferior vena cava on? And for anybody who really knows anatomy, that's a simple question, of course. The venous drainage is on the right side of the abdomen. But, I thought I knew anatomy quite well at that time, but I didn't know the answer to the question. It was really embarrassing in front of him and a bunch of my father's friends, a bunch of people I knew since I was pretty young. And it sort of very abruptly put me in my place. And I don't even know what side of the abdomen the cava's in. I was, beginning of my third year of medical school. So what I'm trying to say is, what this all leads to is, first of all, be a little careful. Somebody's got to get a little bit of experience, at least with their subject, and have had some ups and downs and true challenges before they can be more confident in it. But anybody can learn nutrition and toxicology. All you got to do is open a book, start reading about it and talking about it. You learn it pretty fast. This diagram kind of shows often a curve, let's say, for conventional medicine in a complex field like a surgical field. You'll get your confidence up from some early assistant case, but then the more you have to do by yourself, the more you realize that you still need help on some of the tough cases. And then when you're junior attending, you're by yourself, you're a little nervous. You know what you can do, but you're worried if you're going to have a really tough case. And then the more and more cases you do, pretty soon you get used to pretty much the whole spectrum of the field. And then it takes a while, but you get to the point where, you've done like 1,000 of some procedure. And so you're pretty confident with it, in true expertise. But anyways, this is the main thing where it comes into play, and just being aware of yourself. Like if you're not sure if you really know something, usually the best thing to do is be kind of quiet, listen to what other people say, learn about it from a couple different points of view. So anyways, Dunning-Kruger effect.